So the soundtrack goes from being really pretty choral and orchestral sounds all the way to being arpeggio synthesizers and giant drums being hit. And when Katie and I were talking about the music for this, it became pretty clear pretty quickly that synthesizers should be involved, because it was the 80s. There's a lot of kind of horror and nightmarish elements, and synthesizers kind of made sense. I knew I wanted synthetic and acoustic instruments, so I recorded a string quartet back at home in LA, and a group of choral singers. Another thing that unlocked the kind of idea of this score is walking into the National Theater's music room, which I didn't know existed until I showed up. They were like, oh yeah, you can use whatever you want in here. And there's just walls of drums and synthesizers and all sorts of different sounds. And so I just locked myself away in there and used every instrument I could get my hands on. I was just like, oh my gosh, Ocean at the End of the Lane, a synthesizer made out of whale sounds. And I use that a lot in the score as textural elements and also as melodic ideas. This is the sound of Scar Thatch, which is one of the kind of monsters, knowing that these monsters are actually connected to the ocean and that kind of imagery. It really it unlocked a big piece of the puzzle of this soundtrack for me. I wrote it specifically to follow the action on stage, but yeah, it just kind of naturally felt right as a standalone thing, like a record that you could just sit down, listen to, and you'll definitely go on a journey.